Anarchy Begins. I'm back. I apologize for my brief layoff. I was a little under the weather. In the news, Hillary has drawn even. She is absolutely even with Bernie Sanders at this point nationally. It doesn't look good. And at some point, Hillary's got to admit to herself from not only this campaign cycle, from last campaign cycle, when you let an unknown one-term black guy, senator, he trounced you. You have to think, you know what? People don't like me. I'm not a likable person. And I really think that the issue, it doesn't come down to a policy issue with Hillary because you stick your finger in the wind and it will change depending on what the popular opinion is. No one trusts you. Like, you're a liar. So I think that's a real stigma facing you in this particular campaign cycle. The Benghazi emails, the wearing the sunglasses in front of Congress for your 12 hours worth of testimony, like, listen, I'm Hillary. And I think that hurts a little bit because Bernie's appears to be a serious candidate. And other news about politicians that we don't trust. Little Marco is back in the news. Little Marco has accrued some delegates. I don't know from where. They're from Alaska. And this is one of the two contests that Marco Rubio actually won, Alaska and Minnesota. And he doesn't want those states to have a vote for their candidates remaining. This all plays into the hands of Kasich and Cruz, who know mathematically they don't have a route to the nomination. So what they'll do is try to deny delegates to Trump, so they can go to the second ballot, which the RNC is not bound to, and they're already putting out those talking points. We're not bound on the second ballot to elect Trump or to nominate Trump. You are bound on the first ballot. So democracy does sometimes or somehow still work a little bit. But they're going to deny that. They're going to play a political game. They're going to sink the Republican Party. They're trying not to do that. I think the only appeasement will be to put an establishment candidate in the position of cabinet, vice president, i.e. Secretary of State. And I don't think that's going to happen because I think that Donald Trump is his own man, and I think that he'll do whatever necessary. So to recap, Little Marco's back. He said he won 5 delegates in Alaska. He petitioned the chair of the RNC to keep those 5 delegates. Don't give them to anyone else. And, I guess that's his attempt to, stop Donald Trump, as futile as it may be. There's a real attempt led by Jeb Bush, led by Senior Bush, to subvert the Trump movement. They've got their mother on television. They're doing just the most here. And I think Trump needs to be careful, especially with his lineage to Roger Stone. Roger Stone is a Bush guy. Roger Stone was in charge of Dimple Chad, the revote and the 2000 Florida vote, or the 2000 Florida recall. And he's the reason we got George Bush. So for him to be Trump's campaign manager, or former campaign manager, and Trump being the anti-establishment candidate, I would distance myself from Roger Stone. Roger Stone's been playing political manhunt for decades, not only in the recall, and he bends which way the wind turns as well. He's a conservative Republican. He's a moderate Republican. I don't know what the meaning of that is, but so this is what he says. And I just would, if I was Trump, I would watch for exactly that. And as it pertains to the scandal stories with Trump and Ted Cruz, I do believe that they both, first of all, Cruz's equivalent of a super PAC did put that story out about Melania. I think she looked great on that cover. And, Who fucking cares at really what Melania Trump is doing? She's not running for president. Donald is. But I do think it matters that Ted Cruz's wife is a bankster, essentially. She worked for Lehman Brothers. And again, they're the ones creating super PACs, and they're the ones that are really bending campaign financing and putting all the money into politics. They support the Republican candidate, they support the Democratic candidate. Whoever wins, they'll get their policy met because of their dual support. So I think that is relevant. First of all, he lied, said she was a baker. Like no one was going to find out that she worked for Lehman Brothers, and that you got a low interest loan to buy a Senate seat from them. So if you're speaking about being anointed, you're God's chosen candidate, and you're speaking about being anti-establishment, I don't understand how you're financed by the establishment. This is Manhattan B on a beautiful day. I am transmitting from the office. I'll be back with more from the upcoming and very scintillating New York primaries, in which I will definitely be in attendance. By the way, Hillary Clinton was at the Apollo. No, that didn't make news because uptown we don't really fucking care, and we're not voting for you anyway. So Manhattan B transmitting to the Anarchy begins. One.